I've been busy, guys, this holiday, so I'm not doing a lot of streams over the holidays. I'm with my family, friends and family, got lots of stuff going on. And it's a summer holiday still. We're winding down from the summer holidays towards the start of the new academic year, and that's when I'll be doing a bit more streams and things like that then because of just a sort of normality of routine sort of thing. But obviously, it would be wrong of me and downright, burying my head in the sand if I didn't address the calamity of this summer's transfer window, which has been an absolute calamity for Aston Villa. I know, and I've said, guys, you can look back at my episodes on Christian Fandom Geek, my Aston Villa streams. I've said it before. The last 2 or 3 windows for Villa have not been very good. Even January, getting rid of Marlon and bringing in Abraham didn't work. Marlon is playing in Italy now and smashing goals in left, right, and centre. That was a bad decision. We should have kept Marlon. We had no reason to get rid of Marlon. He's a good player. We should have kept Donny. We should have kept him. In the summer, prior to that, we got Griezland, awful player for Villa. And you go back a couple of years back, the last decent window we had was probably when we got in Marcus Rashford and we got Alonso in on loan, and we had a very good Champions League run. Obviously, Duran left, which was annoying, but we still got in Rashford and we still got in, like I say, we got in Alonso, both brilliant players for us, and that was a fabulous footballing season for us. The only thing about it is we missed out on Champions League on the last day of the season. That wasn't great, but in terms of just how the team performed and played, including the FA Cup run, it was a really good season. Now, this summer, after obviously a fascinating and exciting, fantabulous World Cup, and I said we need to have a strong window. I said it even prior to the World Cup. I goes, we needed to have a strong window this summer. And what have we got instead? We've gone from top 4 finish, winning the Europa League, best season we've had for a very, very long time. And half of our best players have left Aston Villa. Half of our best players have left the club. So we're in a tricky predicament right now as Villa fans because we need reinforcements. OLLIE wants to go, and if OLLIE Watkins wants to go, we have to let him go. Because if we keep him, then we've got a player on our hands that doesn't want to be at the club, and it's problematic. We can't have paid people at the club that don't want to be there. But OLLIE's left us in a predicament because he really should have let us know at the end of last season that he didn't want to be at the club anymore. He's kind of messed us around quite a bit there, OLLIE, and it's not very kind to the club or all the fans, to be honest, that he's left us in a tricky predicament like that. So we're needing to replace our central striker, our main goal scoring protagonist, and the football season's already started. With first week of the Premier League's already gone, so it's really tricky for Aston Villa Football Club now because we have to buy a replacement. We can't just think, oh, don't worry about it, we're okay. We need to buy a replacement, but you don't want to panic buy and just buy anyone. Like they're talking about the Jean-Pierre Mateta. I was like, no way. No. Mateta 3 or 4 years ago, yeah. Mateta now, no. 29 years old, injury prone, expensive wages because he won a lot of money. No. Because Palace will want at least 45 million for him, and we're not paying that 45 million for him. What, to get one good season out of him, maybe 2 at a push? No. You want to get someone who's about 26, 27 in their peak, but not over the. You want him to be younger than OLLIE because OLLIE's 29, so we want somebody younger than OLLIE Watkins. So we want somebody at least probably 25, 26 years old, maybe 27 at the oldest. Somebody you can get a good 4 or 5 seasons from, at least. So we need to invest wisely. And obviously, because of the PSR, SCR, financial dealings and the corruption in the Premier League, we can't spend too much on wages either. So we need to be very careful here about who we buy in terms of wages at the club, because we can't overspend, but we have to spend some money because we want somebody to be at least as good as Ollie Watkins, if not better. They've got to at least be at the same sort of standard as Ollie. So we've got a predicament there. And then all of our best players leave. Well, not all of our best players, but a lot of our best players from the first team leaving or wanting to go in one transfer window is very problematic. And it does get to a point where do you as a football club say, listen guys, we can't let you all go. Not in one transfer window. It doesn't make sense. From a football point of view of running a football club in the Premier League, a club that's in the Champions League, by the way. I mean, guys, just let this sink in. Aston Villa qualified for the Champions League twice. We were in the top four, and we won the Europa League. So we qualified. So even if we didn't win the Europa League, we still would have got in top four. And if we didn't get top four, we still would have got in for the Europa League. So there's other clubs that have spent way more money than Aston Villa that couldn't win. Didn't win a European trophy and weren't in the top four. We've qualified for the Champions League two different streams of ways of doing it, two different channels of doing it. We did it. We were amazing last season, and so it is disappointing for Villa fans. It's disappointing to see so many of our top players want to go, and yeah, fair enough. Someone like Morgan Rogers is fine because we got a lot of money for Rogers. We needed to balance the books. We need to also be able to spend money on other players. So Rogers going to Chelsea made sense for me. Out of all the players that we sold this summer for the Villa boys, Rogers going to Chelsea was the one that made sense. It's like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Let him go to Chelsea. That's a lot of money. We're probably not going to get more than that for him. Chelsea have probably overpaid us, to be honest, a little bit, if I'm being honest. Because Rogers is a good player, but he hasn't really proven himself to be, over 100 million good. Maybe you think, maybe be worth 70 million, 60, 70 million. We've almost got double the amount of money we should have got from really. So we had to accept that Rogers deal because it was a good deal. If you're a Morgan Rogers fan, that's fine. I'm a Morgan Rogers fan. But there's no way we could turn down that money for Rogers. It was good money. Chelsea did us good. And to that, I'll be grateful to Chelsea for that because they paid us more money than they really should have. And it was a very good deal for us. But what I want to see now as an Aston Villa fan for the rest of this transfer window, which is about 1 week or so, whatever, is we need to get in bodies very, very quick. We need to buy at least 3 or 4 players. We need to buy a striker. We need to get another midfielder, and we need to buy at least 1 centre back, maybe 2. So really, Aston Villa by the end of the transfer window need to have bought at least 3 to 4 new players, and those players need to be good players that are good enough to go into the first 11. And once that's done, we shall have peace. We shall have peace in the land, okay? And us Villa fans we can just breathe and be like, wow, that was been an intense summer. I hope to the good Lord, and I'm not praying about it because there's more important things to pray about in the world than football transfers. But I hope and pray, using figure of speech there, that our January transfer window, which is not going to be a million miles away, is a lot more positive and productive than this one has been. I'll tell you that right now for free. So, yeah, praise the Lord. It's been a strange transfer window for Aston Villa and for us Villa fans. And I pray, again, I'm not going to literally pray about it, but there's more important things to pray about. But I'm going to hope, and the footballing gods will be listening, that our transfer window in the new year will be far more positive than this one has been so far. Now, my wife said to me this. She goes, Christian Fandom Geek, she goes, what do you think's going on with the Villa? What do you think's going on? Because Why are so many players wanting to leave in one go? Because obviously, you think of football players. It's very, football players are not very loyal these days. I'm going to be honest with you about that. They're not that loyal these days. They're not the most loyal. Um, so you do have a scenario where you think, well, hang on a minute, like, what's really going on? Because you'd expect one or two players to want to leave. It happens. It's football. One or two players will want to leave. Okay, not a problem. But why are so many players wanting to leave in one go? Because you've got to think they've got Champions League football. Because players leave clubs because of things like Champions League football. They say, "Oh, I want Champions League football. I want Champions League football." So players will leave a club because they want Champions League football. We've got Champions League football. They say, "Well, I want to be at a club that wins things. I don't want to be at no club that doesn't win things. I want to be winning medals. I want to win stuff. I want the prestige. I want some glory. I want to be a champion. I want to, I want to be looked back and have winners' medals. I don't want to be someone who's a good player, play for good clubs, but hasn't won anything. I want to win things. I want to be a winner. I want to be numero uno. I want to be, the alpha, the champion. Yeah, I want to be the top guy, the top dog, the big, the big chip. You know what I mean? The big guy. Yeah, the real McCoy. The top level, the alpha, the apex. They want to be that. They want to be the best of the best. Well, Villa won the Europa League. They won the second best competition in European football, and there was a lot of prestige with that. So we don't know what's fully going on with the Villa boys and with Aston Villa at the moment, and why so many players wanted to leave straight after winning something and straight after qualifying for the Champions League again. Absolutely not sure what's going on there at all. Bit of a strange one. Yeah, bit of a strange one indeed. Anyway, just thought I'd have a little stream. Now, as I'm wrapping this stream up, guys, just a few things to consider. Ollie Watkins. Let's go back to Ollie Watkins again. The whole thing of Ollie Watkins not playing on Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was, not playing, has irked a lot of the Villa fans, and I get it. And many people are saying that Ollie Watkins has tarnished his legacy at Aston Villa for what he's done. Apparently, there's reports that he's apologised to his teammates for not playing, against Brighton, a match where Villa got absolutely wiped the floor with the Villa boys, and it was embarrassing that we didn't have a main striker playing. So Ollie has apologised to his teammates, the rest of the Villa lads in the squad. What do I think of this? Is the question. I think he has tarnished himself. I'm not going to lie. I think if you leave a football club, just like you want to join a football club in the best possible way, you also want to leave a football club in the best possible way as well. And if you leave a club in the best way, like Rodgers has left really well, to be honest, and so has Luca Digne. They've left the club really well. Tielemans to a degree as well, although Tielemans, I don't think Tielemans should have left, if I'm being honest. I think he's made a mistake, but I get why he's left. But I'm not sure if that's going to work. He's done well under Emery. I think Emery got the best out of Tielemans, and I'm not sure Michael Carrick will get the best out of Tielemans. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. I think Ollie Watkins has tarnished himself with the Villa fans, and I think, how does he make that up? I mean, if he leaves the club, he won't make that up. If he stays at least one more season and really gives it his best, he can win the fans back around again, and say, you know what, yeah, I gotta make it up to these guys. However, I don't know if Ollie cares enough to do that. I think he wants the Arab oil money. If I'm being honest, he wants the Arab oil money. So I don't know if he cares that much, but he has apologised to his teammates, so at least he's done that. But Ollie, mate, oh gosh, you've been such a good player for us, so you just need to leave the club in the right way. I'm guessing his agent is heavily involved in pushing for what's been happening, but there are ways to do things. There are ways to leave a football club. And oh, hi Tammy, how you doing, mate? there are ways in which to leave a football club, and the way that Ollie Watkins is pushing to leave the Villa, he's done it in the wrong way. He's done it in completely the wrong way, which is unfortunate because he's been a great player for us. Tammy, you good? God bless you, mate. You're good. Tammy, are you a football fan? You makes me think of Tammy Abraham. Hey, Tammy Abraham. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, I'm Tammy. I'm blessed of the Lord. I'm good. I'm blessed of the Lord. I am annoyed, and I do some of these videos that I do as a bit of a hobby. I'm emotional about football, so I do sometimes, get catharsis from talking about football, getting emotional, ranting sometimes, getting really angry about matters in the footballing world, and I'm obviously annoyed about the Ollie Watkins scenario at Aston Villa. And I'm a Aston Villa and Real Madrid fan, as well as England, obviously, of course. And I've got loads of England World Cup videos that show you that. So yeah, Tammy, I'm just ranting about football, about the Premier League stuff, and about Aston Villa. How are you, Tammy? Are you a football fan? Are you happy with, if you are a football fan? Are you happy with your team? Have they had a good transfer window this summer, unlike Aston Villa, my team? Although I like Real Madrid as well, and Real Madrid have had a really good transfer window, so that's the one thing I can say. But as a Villa fan, and obviously Villa are my number one team, no, they've not had a good transfer window. So Tammy, are you a football fan, and if so, has your team had a good transfer window? I'm a football fan, and don't be sad. It's a new match day every day. Tammy, that is very, very optimistic. I guess you are a glass half full, and I applaud your optimism. Whereas I go towards furious anger and wanting revenge of the Sith, and to get full revenge on those who have come against us and caused any kind of problems. As I say, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, order will be established. And so yeah, Tammy, I want revenge. Revenge is what I want. So but I applaud you, Tammy, for being jovial, and I know what you got anger issues. It's all about the anger issues, man. I got anger issues. It comes to football, I get angry. I'm very emotional when it comes to football. I wear my heart on my sleeve. When it comes to football, I'm emotional. And if I see injustice, if I see corruption, if I see foolishness or stupidity, I get angry. I get very angry, and it turns into furious anger. So I'm dealing with these stuff. But when it comes to football, in other areas of my life, I'm very well emotionally regulated. I'm a mature, regulated adult in a good place, and walking in the grace and favour of the Almighty God, as the Christian Fandom Geek. But when it comes to football, as a football geek, as football Fandom Geek, I get angry about stuff. If I see stupidity or inequality, unfairness, corruption, like what you see in the Premier League, I get angry about it. So yeah. Tammy, what's your team then, man? What's your team? Who are you supporting, Tammy? What's your team? Hey, Tammy Abraham. So the Villa boys have no strikers at the moment. Maggio's injured, Tammy Abraham's injured. So again, it's a little bit unfortunate because obviously the Ollie Watkins scenario has been awkward. But if we had Brian Maggio and we had Tammy Abraham both fully fit, which is what you'd expect at the start of the season, by the way, guys, not too much to ask. Is it for most of your squad to be fully fit, including your two strikers that you got who actually want to play for your club? Then that Brighton match is a different match, and we're not having to play Barkley up front, and the squad will feel more, sort of optimistic that we could get something out of the game. We've got, remember, imagine that match now. Rerun that match with Tammy Abraham fully fit and Brian Maggio fully fit. We're going to have more of an opportunity. Obviously, the defensive side needs to be sorted out. We need to buy a new centre back who can replace. We can replace the lad we just sold to Arsenal. So we do need a new centre back. And we do need to get Goretzka in that midfield as well. And obviously we need a new striker as well to replace Ollie Watkins. But it's just a case of, and obviously Ezra's gone to Arsenal, so we need to replace him. But we've also got to replace people with the right people, players with the right players. It's as simple as that. You can't just be like, oh well, get anyone in. My other issue, which I'm going to bring this stream to a close in a second, guys. But my other thing is this: if we knew that players were wanting to leave, should the club have already had scouted an extensive list of players that's like, right, if this one goes, we go for this one. If this one goes, we go for this one. I almost feel the club have been caught out a little bit. And it's like, wow, realistically, these people are paid to run football clubs to deal with situations like this. And I know it's been a predicament. I'm not going to be too harsh because it's a lot of players. That's the spine of the Aston Villa team wanting to leave in one transfer window after getting Champions League football and winning a major European competition. So we wouldn't have expected so many players to want to leave in one go, but surely people that run a football club should be more prepared. We've done okay on transfers at the moment, but that's the best I'd say is okay. So if we have everyone fully fit, I think we've got an okay team. But I would still say that there needs to be a strength in depth added to the team. So we need three or four more players added to that team anyway. Just because we've got Champions League football, Premier League football, we have cup competitions, and obviously we'll prioritise Champions League and Premier League. But we've got to have more in the locker than what we've got. We really do. So as I bring this stream to a close, and it's been nice to meet you, Tammy. Make sure you sub the channel. Make sure you sub Christian Fandom Geek. As I bring this stream to a close, guys, I will say this: we need to have more in the locker than what we've got currently. And Ollie, I don't know how Ollie's going to make it up to the fans, if I'm being honest, because I think he's going to leave anyway. So has Ollie, permanently tarnished his relationship with Aston Villa? Probably, yeah. And the only way that would be rectified or redeemed is if he stayed at least one more season and banged in 20 plus goals. That's the only way that would happen. And he's not going to want to do that. So, yeah, I think Tammy's done it, to be honest, now, really, because he can make it up to the fellow players, but the fans are not going to forget that, are they? So we as fans are not going to really forget that. So it's unfortunate there. Anyway, when you're watching this stream, and for a lot of you will watch this stream after the stream's finished, smash the like button, share with friends and family. You know what to do. It's your boy, Christian Fandom Geek. Thank you for being with me in this little Ollie Watkins Aston Villa rant. And I will be again with you very soon. Obviously, I'll be doing episodes tied into Villa matches coming up in the season anyway. So I'll do another one next weekend. I'll be getting another stream next weekend as well. At some point, probably on the Sunday. So God bless you guys. Have a good one. Stay safe, be kind, and make the world a better place. It's been your boy, Christian Fandom Geek, on the Red 5 network of podcast shows. God bless you guys. And have a good one.